Coach, more big picture here. When Trajan largely kept the team intact at the trade deadline, what does that say about the belief in what you guys have and the belief with this group of what you guys want to accomplish?
I think it speaks a lot to what the guys have done because they earned that right. If things weren't going in the direction that we wanted them to go in, if they hadn't committed to one another and bought into what we were trying to do and built the chemistry and started moving this thing forward, then obviously things would have had to be tinkered with. But credit to the guys and credit to Trajan, right? Trajan, I thought, was extremely deliberate about what his plan of attack was going to be and how he was going to help this team. And, when you get a good thing going, and just from a vibe standpoint, you don't want to mess that up. And, he understands a locker room. He understands that feeling, how important chemistry is. And again, he thought it was the best thing to do is give this group an opportunity because they earned that opportunity.
JB, a couple of weeks ago, Darren described his start to the season as soft, and I think he's had at least 5 assists in his last 5 games, and obviously it seems with a 5-game streak. I guess just going off of how Darren described his own start, how would you kind of put into words what you're seeing from him now that you didn't see maybe during his first 20 games or so?
He's consistently dominant, and I think that's the thing that stands out, to us is how consistent his performances have been, and consistently versatile. His ability to play, make, defensive rebound, push the ball, the lobs, obviously, the offensive rebounds, how he's in early position defensively, what he's doing in the pick and roll. There's a consistency to it, and there's a force, that he's playing with consistently. And when he does that, you see he's just hard to deal with. A guy with that size, strength, athleticism, and ball skill, when he plays with force, is going to be extremely difficult to match. And I think he's been doing that really consistently.
And obviously he's close with Isaiah and Paul Reed's come in and also bonded with those guys. When you have a young guy like Darren, I think he just turned 21. When you have that position of not just camaraderie but competition as well, how much do you think maybe seeing Paul Reed come in and seeing him maybe get 3 steals in 5 minutes as he's done, or the way Isaiah Stewart gets blocked, do you think that some of that can rub off on Durant, showing how he can impact games?
Yeah, I think they all are unique and they all bring something different. And I think what they're doing is thriving in who they are, right? They're not trying to be the next guy. They're just trying to be, the best version of themselves. But they understand how important that position is for us, right? A lot of people and teams won't recognize how important the center is. Everybody wants to shoot threes, and everybody thinks the guy who shoots up all the balls is the sexiest on the floor. But for us, we're our big guys are the most important piece of what we do. Defensively, they're the anchor. Offensively, as many screens as they have to set. The effort that they have to put in on that floor to help everybody else. We recognize how important that center position is and try to highlight them as much as we can because, again, it's a selfless task. Nobody cares how many screens you set to get your teammate open, right, except for your teammate. And we asked them to do that over and over again. And, again, they've all bought into it, and it's helped us continue to grow and be a better basketball team.
Coach, Cade was an all-star this season for the first time. For a young player, how much can this impact his growth and experience to get that national recognition that he is a deserving all-star caliber player?
The difference in this league that we've seen is belief, right, and self-confidence. All these guys are super talented, right? The best 450 or whatever it is players in the world. What separates, average to good to great is that level of self-belief. Obviously you have to have a skill set, but, being recognized as one of the elites in this league just supports all the work and time and thought that you've put into whatever your craft may be. So that level of confidence and belief, now you mix that with your skill set and you're not looking over your shoulder and you just get to be the best version of yourself without worrying about, do I belong? Do I fit? And I think for young guys in particular, once you're recognized like that and you get to go sit in that locker room and look around and see the Stephs of the world, the KDs, the LeBrons, and see that you're sitting amongst them, all that does is help that confidence and belief, and then you can go out and impact the game like Cade's continued to do.
JB, you rank number 8 this season in successful challenges. I was wondering if you could explain your strategy when you use those and how it's evolved since the league started implementing that system a couple seasons ago.
Well, you got to give our Will, the credit for a lot of it. He's the guy behind the scenes that people don't see a lot. With the iPad in front of him in position to kind of see what the play is, and then he gives the thumb up, thumb down. For us, it's kind of when we're building this, I'll allow the guys to have input in it also, and I'm learning who to trust and who not to trust through that process. But like if Tobias says he didn't foul, then Tobias didn't foul, and I'll use that earlier in the game because it's also us building relationships and showing trust in one another as we're putting this thing together. Most of the time we try to wait until the fourth quarter to use it, depending on the score of the game and those types of things. Some of it is your gut in the moment and what you see, and then you have the video evidence behind it. To try to get possession or to take away a basket, take away a foul that a guy may have got that gives him his fourth or fifth foul, things like that. So all those things kind of come into play. And then, you really, sometimes you just don't know, right? Because, you see a block call or a block charge call, and those are like, 50-50 type plays, whether they get overturned or not. So you're kind of throw all those things in play. And then make a decision within the 30 seconds that you have. Appreciate y'all.